Hey there, I'm Dr. Carmen, and a few months ago I posted a video about how to lose weight if you have PCOS. And there were multiple comments that came in on that video, but one of the comments that just kept coming up is this issue about one of the things I said in the video, which was to cut out sugar. And so a lot of people were kind of like freaking out and saying, how am I ever supposed to eliminate sugar completely from my diet? And one of the big questions that came up repeatedly was, what about fruit? Because fruit has sugar in it. So I just wanted to unpack that question a little bit more and perhaps just bring a little bit of clarity to the reason behind why I made that suggestion. So if you have been diagnosed with PCOS and you have been trying to lose weight, you know that it's extremely difficult to do so. And there are multiple different reasons why that is, but one of the most important reasons is because of something called insulin resistance, which is something that actually happens in polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now, the way that I like to explain insulin resistance is like this. So all the cells in your body need an energy source in order to perform their functions. And cells can either use a glucose energy source or they can use fat. And so I want you to imagine for a moment that all of your cells, on the surface of the cells, it's like a door that kind of has to open and allow the energy source in. So either the glucose or the fat needs to enter into the cell in order for it to be utilized as energy. But the door on the surface of your cell has a lock on it, and that lock needs to be unlocked with a key. And that key, in the case of sugar metabolism, is insulin. So insulin is the key that unlocks your cells and allows the glucose to enter the cells where it's used as energy. So imagine you eat a meal. Let's just say the meal has carbohydrates in it. Let's say, for example, you eat a donut, right? So you eat a lovely sugary donut and the sugar gets absorbed from your gut into your blood. So now you've got sugar in your blood, but you don't need it there, you need it inside your cells. So the glucose from that sugary donut needs to go into your cells and insulin has to unlock the cells. But in insulin resistance, it's almost as if somebody has placed bubblegum inside the lock. And so you have the key, you have the lock, but the key doesn't actually unlock the cell. And so you end up building up sugar inside the blood, which sends an automatic message to your body to make more keys, because your body thinks, hang on, I don't have sugar inside my cells, it must mean that I don't have enough keys. And so your body starts to produce more and more insulin in order to unlock those cells. But still, you've got this bubblegum stuck inside the locks and the insulin is ineffective at opening those locks. And that's basically what is happening in insulin resistance. So when we consume foods, if we have insulin resistance, and insulin resistance is not specific to PCOS, but it is one of the conditions where we do find insulin resistance. And so if you think about it like this, you've got the sugar building up in your blood, insulin is there, but it's actually ineffective at opening those cells. What will end up happening, the more sugar you end up consuming, the worse the problem gets. And so one of the keys to trying to reverse insulin resistance is almost to reset your body so that you can begin to clear out some of that bubblegum stuck in the locks so that your insulin can start working again. So this is the reason why, especially in the first few weeks of trying to reverse insulin resistance and heal some of the symptoms of PCOS, it's very helpful to eliminate specifically simple carbohydrates, and also to eliminate sugar, which is the simple carbohydrate. But when it comes to fruit, this is kind of where we're a little bit on the fence. And the reason why I say that is because, yes, in fruit there is fruit sugar. So we know that fructose is a fruit sugar. But the thing about fruit is that it's not pure sugar. You've got fiber, you've got water, you've got other nutrients and vitamins inside fruit. So overall, fruit is not necessarily bad for you. But in the beginning, especially the first 8 weeks, if you're starting to implement a program where you're trying to reset your body and trying to give yourself the best opportunity to begin your healing journey, it is advisable to at least limit the amount of fruit that you're consuming. Now, I know that it sounds a little bit weird and a little bit difficult to do, especially in the beginning, because another thing that happens with PCOS is that your cravings are almost like ramped up. So you'll be craving sugar, and it almost seems counterintuitive to not feed that craving with sugar. But the thing about that is that it doesn't last forever. So yes, your body will go through a period where your cravings may be intense, and I have a few tips about what you can actually do to reduce cravings. I'll have to put that in another video. But essentially, it's not something that you have to think about that your entire life you will never consume sugar again. No, that's not what I meant. But especially for about 8 weeks when you're starting your healing journey of PCOS, or even if you're just healing or trying to reverse insulin resistance, or perhaps you're pre-diabetic or even diabetic, going on a sugar fast for about 8 weeks is really helpful. And what you'll find is that after the 8 weeks is up, you actually won't be able to consume the same amount of sugar that you were previously consuming before. The cravings will start to dissipate, and you'll notice that losing weight becomes a little bit easier as you go through that process. So I hope that answers your questions about eliminating sugar if you have PCOS. If you have any other questions around this topic, it's a fascinating one with lots of things to unpack. Please leave them in the comment section below. And if you are new to me and you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe and check out my other videos about PCOS if you want to learn more. Until next time, bye.